Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Tua Tagovailoa, Week 2, Thursday Night Football. Brutal game on a number of different levels. We're going to try to break it down. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. So normally on these videos, I usually like to pump the Patreon community at this point. What I'm going to do is say, we're going to look at the film and then we're going to talk to it at the end. So if you want to stick around and see exactly what it looks like as far as just my initial reaction to Tua, the hit, the injury, that'll be at the end of the video. We'll try to do the kind of all 22 service here as we look at it and then peel it back and kind of make sense of where we're at the end of this thing. All right, brutal night all the way around. Tua, the Dolphins, right here. First interception, bottom of the screen. There are a few things here. Now, obviously, I love anticipation, the accuracy, the strengths of Tua's game. No doubt about it. This, to me, doesn't necessarily look like a terrible pass. It sure looks like it bounces off of him right out of the break. A little unfortunate with the, obviously, bouncing into the defender's hands. My initial reaction, I got a few things here. One, where the hell is Tyreek and Waddle? Okay, they're on the sidelines. The next thing here is we've got to be able to push our depth and anticipate this ball. Now, again, I know they got a bunch of guys that weren't on this team for very long, but like this is a deep in the NFL. That ball's on the money. I mean, it's maybe a little early, and the reason I say it's a little early, because if this is 5 and a hitch from Gunn here, I think his 4-5 is maybe quickened up. So you can be the judge here. So 3 normal and then 4-5, boom, like really fast as opposed to a rhythm, kind of even cadence of a drop. So that would be the one thing if you're going to put it on Tua here. I would say just let this drop play itself out. 1, 2, 3, see how it kind of like choppies the back of that thing? So 1 normal, 2 normal, 3 normal, 4-5, all underneath each other, and shoot the 4th step happens in front of the 3rd step or right at the same depth. So I think that's a fair criticism, but look at the anticipation. I mean, come on, dog. Catch the ball. Hits you in the damn chest, it looks like. Dunk. And again, I don't know enough or care enough to go see why Tyreek Hill and Waddle aren't in the game, but they're not in the game. So I don't necessarily think they're hurt. Did they tap out? It's 3rd down. Get your ass out there. 3rd down, 1st quarter. Come on. It's not going to work. And if they pulled them out for a specific personnel, well, that's unacceptable. So they got to be in there for these situations. We're trying to throw them the ball. Can't have balls bouncing off the chest of our, 4th, 5th wide receiver out there. Next one here, 3rd and 4. Beautiful job working Waddle down here in the slot. So no, not there initially. Kind of second window slanty. Just a beautiful job here from Tua. He looks ready to go. Doesn't force it. Kind of extends the play in structure, but on the move, off platform. Perfect. Right on the money. Hand off. So again, if we're trying to rip it to Waddle right out the break here on the slot. So if we want the ball to come right here, right out the break, it's not there. Then that second window extends past the defender. So whichever one it is, it really doesn't matter. Jumps into that first window, let it extend. And again, when I say in structure off platform, that means he wants to throw it here. 1, and then 1B, we just let that thing develop. And so as he moves, he doesn't just abandon that thing. It's not scramble rules. He's still playing the play in structure. He's just off platform, and it's well done. And again, the movement in the pocket looks good on him. Just a really nice, well-executed 3rd down. Damn near should be a touchdown. It's a beautiful view here from the end zone of on the move. Boom, right on him. Quick, decisive. Love it. Next one here, touchdown pass. Now, I'm pretty sure in Miami they call this little one-man screen a balloon route concept. So well done right there, finding it. It's a full field read from Tua. Again, left to right, all the way across the field. I love this play as a red zone play. I think of this as a Chiefs special. It's just a really nice job from Tua playing this thing very quickly. So when I say Chiefs special, I think of old school Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. This would be Kelsey. He come in here, runs this little like get open, arrow, slop, whatever you want to call it. We then have Tyreek Hill running essentially a race to the back pylon. So it's like a front pylon, back pylon. And then if you have a number 3 here, usually working that back line, top of the logo. Then that balloon concept, I love how they get there with a little window dressing of a fast 4 motion. And then he's that lead blocker out there. Then you just have the back kind of leak out on that swing or wide. And so you can see how you would read this thing right across the board, right? 1, 2, 3, all the way back to this balloon 4. And Tua does a really nice job because I think we take an L at right tackle and he just kind of chuck and ducks it out there. So read this thing out to the bottom. No to Waddle, boom. Tyreek Hill, not quite there yet. Takes a little bit of time, gets rerouted. Oh, not really. Just not there yet. No, yes. And he doesn't even really get to 3. He kind of goes 1, 2, 4. So no, boom. And he does all that with someone right in his lap. And you can see kind of what the lead blocker balloon does out there up top. You really need 2 defenders. Only one blocked up, walk in. Outstanding. And again, watch Tua how quickly he does this from behind. He's going to go left. There it is. Again, you feel that right tackle take an L inside. That's about as wide as you'll ever see a right tackle set as well. And he slips. Whoop. Nice job, Tua. Well done. Touchdown. Walk in. Next one here. Another pick. It's a rough one. So again, personnel. Who the hell's out there? Okay, not for me when you talk about trying to get your top 2 guys as many touches as possible. Now, did they tap? I don't know. Is this a specific personnel? I don't know. But I can tell you that I don't think of the Dolphins as a 22 team with this guy out there at wide receiver. Okay, now that's no shot. That's just the reality. I will also say I'm not going to let Tua off the hook here. There's a few things. One, just concept-wise here, it looks like we're trying to run this thing through. Normally, I would say you would think dagger here. This sure looks like more deep curl at the top, back to him type of a thing. Now, we obviously slip, but I think even with the slip, that thing's a sky mail over his head. So that's the first part. Okay, who's out there? The slip. Then the part for this channel, I really like how they kind of use Tua dropping on angles to kind of manipulate the launch point. Normally, I love Tua's base. I think he's got one of the better bases in the league, just meaning the consistency that he plays with his lower half. But right here, this is about as narrow as you see from him. And maybe he's trying to rip it down the field, but just that extra movement, and then you see the result of that thing sky mailing on him, as opposed to staying low, keeping those hips low, being able to keep your eyes level, everything kind of level and able to rotate and put it exactly where you want. So first, watch the route up top. You see him slip. Okay, again, not great, Bob. Stopping our hands, leaning backwards, slipping. Great. Everybody's slipping out there. Tua's footwork at the top of the drop. Right there, outstanding base he usually plays with. Heel click, narrow base, wide again, and now we sky mail it. Now it's obviously compounded because you turn it over and you look up top and you've got the balloon again wide open to Achane. So forcing it down the field. This is where it starts to feel like it's unraveling a little bit. But again, uncharacteristic footwork here from Tua. Again, I love the drop here. He's lining up kind of like a dovetail. We get pulled a little bit on the heel click, but that's just not his normal lower half. And that's certainly not his normal accuracy. That's a gift. Next one here, 2nd and 17. It's going to be another screen to the tight end. They had a bunch of really nice screens. I love the smoke and mirrors with the shift and the motion. A little shovel from Tua. I'm used to calling this, and again, I don't think a lot of people call it this. I'm used to calling this a Reggie Bush screen. And all this means to me is that Reggie Bush was going to block the edge. The offensive line was going to slide the opposite way and hopefully get the tackle out in front of him. You bluff inside. There it is. Beautiful ball handling from Tua. And again, it's a nice, easy completion, especially on 2nd and forever where you know it's going to be a screen draw situation. Just watch the movement of the back. So we're going to bump the back. Then he's going to do your favorite shuffle motion. All that to kind of eye candy inside. Boom. Really nice job. And then you tether that to Tua's ball handling here with the little shovel with his offhand. Just a really cool design play. So move the back. Eye candy. Shuffle. Widen. Forget about the tight end. Watch the tight end invites that rusher outside to the motion. Flip it inside. Now we got the tackle out in front of us. Nice little gain. Nice little design. Next one here, 4th and 2. This is a bummer. because now we've got Waddle and Hill up top together. It sure looks like we're trying to get there. Maybe Tyreek Hill comes open late, but we get fire hydrant here. Ed Oliver just out leverages our left guard. We got no chance. Just dump trucked him right into our lap. So that's an absolute bummer on 4th and 2 to not get a throw off. Now, again, I'm not saying I necessarily love what's going on here scheme-wise, because we got essentially this from Tyreek Hill, and it sure looks like Waddle's trying to run almost like a short post or angle here. So normally I would say, yeah, great. We've got two guys going in the same direction, both fast as hell. They're dropping the safety in here. So it's still kind of 3 over 2. So you would love to have something that you felt like competent of 3 over 3 down here to the bottom. Depending on what this safety does here, if he goes to the middle of the field, I mean, we've got to be able to win down here. So it doesn't really matter because we don't have time to even get to the number 2. Maybe Tyreek Hill comes open. But man, the math is to the bottom. Again, easy to say with a clicker and a marker the next day. Also easy to say when you don't have, your left guard getting leveraged back into your lap. So no, we're in trouble. Bummer. Next one here, 3rd and 2. We're going to work the tight end down here to the bottom. Now this is living on the edge a little bit into a cloud or Palms corner. Tua gets the ball out so quickly and it's right on him here that, he kind of protects him. It's still a bit of a shot. Now maybe he catches it twice as well, but, I think if you had a little bit more time and you were a little bit more comfortable, I personally would love to think about working Tyreek Hill here on this circus or deep out corner. So versus a cloud or palm corner, you're really high-low in this guy. And again, it's 3rd and 2, so you're probably low-high in him. You just got to be really careful about throwing this ball out here in this kind of collision at the point. And again, normally you would think with this guy would be a little scared behind you, but they're certainly aware of the sticks, the down and distance. These guys are great in the back end normally of playing the sticks on short yardage. And again, Tua is able to be so quick with it, he one-steps it, 1 out. So the timing of it kind of protects him, but he still takes a bit of a shot. So regardless, it's a first down. It's just nice to understand kind of the spacing of how those things work with that cloud corner. Next one here, 3rd and 11. Again, 30 seconds before the half. Maybe got some clock management issues here as we get wind down at halftime. This sure looks like dagger. There's nothing there. Tua is able to use his legs and get out of bounds. And living on the edge there a little bit as, going full speed out of bounds beyond the sticks. But nothing there. He doesn't like it. Extend and go and protect yourself. You'd love that tight end type to make sure he's protected on the sideline. But I got no problem with this decision, using his legs, being smart with his legs. Again, easy to say with a clicker. And the other thing you might, and again, every team is different. Okay, so let me be really clear about this. But to me here, dagger is clear post with an in and some sort of shallow normally to high-low, those curl defenders. Now, versus middle field open. Some teams, in certain situations, will allow this post to become almost like an alert or a seam or like a middle read where you can actually hit this thing. And especially if it's 2-man or matchy coverage underneath, especially in a 2-minute situation like this, long yardage, the number 2 up top, that's a throw I think some offenses would green light and encourage. Whatever reason he doesn't here, it's not the end of the world. He's able to use his legs and protect himself. So again, it's just worth understanding, just because you turn on the film and someone sends you a screenshot of this is where the ball should go, not every offense reads all these concepts the same. It sure looks like he's looking to the right. I'm not sure what route Tyreek Hill's supposed to be on, but it's never going to be there. He goes, makes a good decision outside the pocket, extend, protect yourself. Again, 89, bro, you got to stay on this block. We can't have our quarterback taking any short of hit there at the edge. All right, halftime. Like, subscribe, bell, Patreon, courses, website, follow on social media. I appreciate it. Let's get back to it. Next one here, 3rd and 5. Yeah, this is a brutal interception. It sure looks like Tua's attempting to throw this away. Okay, now the thing about it is, even if you throw it away here, I'm pretty sure it's still grounding. I mean, I guess the guy's over there, so it wouldn't be grounding, but he's still in the tackle box, and it's just a brutal pick 6. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Can't make that throw unless you know for sure that you can put it into the front row. All those things are true. The other thing that's true here is, can we pass off a stunt? I mean, I'm not trying to pass the buck. The absolute issue is Tua not being able to get the ball out of bounds. Okay? No doubt about it. But this isn't the most complicated stunt on the left side. Again, to me, and I know I'd probably oversimplify it to you O-line gurus out there. Okay, so no doubt, cannot do this. Okay, and if you do it like that, you got to get it well into the Gatorade, and we just run out of club, and it's unfortunate. And it wouldn't have to come to this if we could pass off a stunt. And what I mean by that is, I know it's not as simple as me saying get on the same level, but you have to get closer to the same level at left guard. Watch the left tackle's depth and watch the left guard's depth. You just can't pass off a stunt like that. Like there, you have to continue to get depth at left guard. He's like aggressively going to try to strike him. Let him come to you. Be patient with it, and then you can pass this stunt off. So as soon as they're not on the same level right there, it's a wrap. I mean, and it's not even that good of a stunt. It might not even be a stunt. It might just be him going recess out there. But man, I think the overarching principle for me with some of these pass pro issues are get the hell out of your stance and get some depth. So obviously these guys know what the hell they're doing at left tackle. Although this isn't the same guy, is it? Isn't it normally 72? Am I out of my mind? I don't pay a whole lot of attention to offensive line there, but I want depth, 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 and width to be able to pass this thing off and hopefully build like a moving wall. What you don't want is one guy at the line of scrimmage, one guy deep, and now we can't pass anything off, and it's a bunch of one-on-one blocks out there. That's the best thing about pass protection unit. It's a unit. So we got no chance. And again, it's the vast majority of it is Tua. Okay, don't let it get twisted, but it doesn't happen in a vacuum. Next one here, 3rd and 4. Tyreek Hill up top. Now this is murder to cover two man. This should not be there. It's just pure speed. Nothing about releasing outside versus 2-man should say you should get an in-breaker like this. They've essentially got it double covered. Again, we're taking an L. Okay, right tackle way oversets. Spin off. Ball almost gets home again. But watch this route from Tyreek Hill. And again, this is the difference when a team is just built for speed. Okay, this is inside leverage, 2-man, essentially over the top of each other. He's got inside leverage. We release outside, just what he wants to get into this space. It's counterintuitive, but the speed of it is so dynamic that it just is there. And there's just not very many dudes in the league can do this. He just straight up runs around the coverage. I mean, it should be there by leverage. Now again, 31 doesn't look like he's moving the quickest at the line of scrimmage, but when you're going against a cheetah, you don't really have a chance. That's not even a cheetah, that's Waddle. I misspoke. Waddle just burning by you. That's a pretty impressive route from Waddle. I don't necessarily think of him as quite as quick at the line of scrimmage, but he looks damn good right there. And again, look how quickly Tua has to get rid of this thing with Von Miller right in his lap. I mean, it almost looks like he sees him and throws it. It's crazy. Dot right on his face. Next one here. This was a bit of a bummer of a miss. We've got Tyreek Hill up top running this kind of deep out bench route. Now, this is one of those ones that normally I feel like these two, it's an easy hookup. I'm not sure what Tua is doing here footwork-wise here. Obviously, it's designed to do that, to manipulate the launch point. But normally, if you open this way, when you get back to this type of throw to throw it deep outside the numbers, you're going to take a hitch. So again, the unique drop here of opening to your right, flipping hips, and then throwing no hitch back the other way, it just seems unnecessarily difficult, and it's late. So you couldn't even get a hitch off if you wanted to because you no hitch it and he runs out of bounds. So what you would either want to do is take this thing deeper as a route, as the design, or you got to get a drop that times out that gives you a chance. Because the way that he's doing it there, open, flipping, throwing no hitch, he's throwing the ball out of bounds. Right? Like again, you tell me if you've ever seen this drop before. open to the right, crossover, flip back, no hitch. It's just unnecessarily difficult, all to throw it out of bounds. Now, sure, would you love to get his feet down there? But it's unnecessarily difficult. You know, if you're faking the action, you've got to find a way to just get a little quicker, time it up, get a hitch, and drive that thing. Next one here, this is the bummer. And we end up shifting to quads here. So the new number 389 is going to take the middle of the field. This is combo coverage, 2-man up top, 2 down here to the bottom. The safety slips. It's a catch that could be made, but we also could give him a better ball. I think, you know, he probably has more time than he thinks. Again, easy for me to say. But I mean, that it's right through his fingertips. And there's so much space over there. You almost want to like lay it out closer, you know, between the I and the A, get a little diphthong in there, as opposed to putting it on that side of the A. And it's beautiful design. Again, you don't see a whole lot of quads in the league. It's just straight up condensed quads. So Tyreek Hill up top, you can see kind of the 2-man element of this. He's playing man-to-man. He follows him everywhere he goes here, doing this. And then down here, it's just cover 2, and they're almost like spot dropping. Now they're pushing it, meaning they're like pushing the coverage towards the 4 eligibles down here. But this is certainly there. I mean, this is touchdown opportunity just missed. So unfortunate. I think they run a little balloon as well with it down here to the bottom. So just great design. Everything except the final execution of the throw and the catch. He just, you know, that's one of those ones I would bet a lot of money Tua would put it exactly where he wants. And that's a shame. It really could have been an interception. Hits the safety's hand as well. But man, right there, right? And again, you know, you kind of know what happens later here where these misses really, really matter. I'm not saying it's tethered to what happens next by any means, but, you know, you score a touchdown here, the game maybe has a different tone. Next one here, 4th and 4. All right, this is an absolute bummer on so many different levels. Hard even to watch. We'll probably just watch it once. 4th and 4. It's there. Go get it yourself. Get down, protect yourself. Again, just making sure you know where the first down marker is. I'm not saying slide feet first, but just don't unnecessarily get a collision there. And I mean, the safety, you know, he's not even looking for a collision. He's thinking you're going down. You run into his quad. And the bummer here, you know, a few things pass pro-wise for me. If you're a fan of the channel, you've probably heard me say that I really, really dislike running backs cutting in the backfield. I think it breeds unnecessary risk. And so we got, you know, again, I don't know what's happening at left tackle, who's in, who's not in. Running back, hate cutting in the backfield like that. But this play, I totally see what Tua sees. Hole in the middle, go get it yourself. It's 4th down. Go get it yourself. I love it. He's trying to make a play for his team, hasn't played well up until this point. Everything except the decision to initiate the contact. It's that decision right there to just not jump forward to the left. And it really is, you know, it gives you a knot in your stomach. It's brutal. It's a bummer. I hate it. All right, so that is a wrap. Tua, week 2, brutal game on a number of different levels. Initially, I think you have to start talking about the injury. I think the hard thing to do in a situation like that is to be able to just try to take a deep breath with it, because the initial reaction is gut-wrenching. It's brutal for any player, but for a guy like Tua that you know has struggled with concussions in the past, it really is brutal. And it's kind of the worst side of this game and this position specifically, especially when he just got paid. You feel like he was able to stay healthy last year when there were so many questions surrounding this very thing, that it sucks, man. It's gut-wrenching. It's brutal. And so I'm going to try to look at it from 2 different lenses. The initial lens is just the Dolphins quarterback situation. We'll see what it looks like moving forward. I feel like the quarterback that jumped in there, Skylar, played well a few years ago in the preseason. People were all about it for whatever reason, you know, opportunity, growth, you know, we'll see what it looks like if he's the guy moving forward. For Tua specifically here, again, you know, you obviously want him to be healthy. not just healthy. Hey, when's he coming back? Is he coming back for the next game? I don't really give a shit. I don't think anybody really cares. I think long term, you got to be able to hold that capacity. Long term, post football, we got to be as healthy as we can be. And you got to find a way to make sense of that. And the only one who's going to make sense of that is him. I can only imagine, not trying to empathize with what he would be going through. You're so invested. You just got paid. You're the dude. You're the leader. You're the influencer on that offensive unit. You're coming into your own. The whole system is designed to protect you. The ball gets out so quickly. You're so efficient under 2 seconds. To get injured on a play like that, where you could get down, it just sucks, man. It stings. It sucks. So I don't know how you make sense of that in the moment. I know he's talked in the past about, what it looks like not playing football. I think, probably stay out of that space anytime moving forward. Right now, I'm probably thinking, how healthy is he? Like, how is he actually feeling post game? Where he comes out on the whole kind of spectrum on the return to play type thing. But then, even if you don't rush it, so say we don't come back this week, which I think would be ridiculous to come back. Say a couple weeks after the bye to come back. Now, everything is on eggshells. Everything changed. You saw it all change in like a blink of an eye. And it's a bummer that it wasn't like getting slammed to the ground or something out of his control. That looked like him just wanting to make a play when he hadn't played well up to that point, almost like couldn't get out of his own way to get down. It just sucks. It sucks. I don't know how else to kind of describe it other than saying, man, feel for him, everyone around him, that organization sucks. It sucks. And, I think it's easy for us, detached from it, not part of the team, not part of the organization, don't really care if they win or lose. You might care if they win or lose, but like you want someone to, this is what he does. Like a lot of his identity is probably tethered to being an NFL quarterback. He wants to prove himself. He's a competitor. To think you can just walk away from that, I totally understand not doing that. And making the league essentially kick you out. But I also understand, it's easier for me looking at from the other side saying, hey, long term, bro, you want to be a functioning, full capacity, adult for as long as you can be. And to see your health deteriorate, almost right in front of your eyes on national TV multiple times has got to be scary as hell. I don't think there's any way to kind of make sense of it. I don't think there's any good decision. You might think the easy decision is to just hang it up, get paid, hang it up, whatever. If that's your gut default reaction, I would say you've probably never fully invested yourself into this, and you're probably not the same level of competitor that a lot of these guys are at this level. Like, it's going to be really hard for any of those guys to walk away. I mean, shoot, the guy he ran into, almost died on the field. It's brutal. And I don't know, man. I don't know how you make sense of it. I really don't. I don't think it's fun to talk about, to see on film, to react to. There are no good choices. You just hope that he's as healthy as he can be, not only as quickly as he can be, but long-term wise. I grew up in an era where I feel like a lot of my favorite quarterbacks in the 90s stopped playing because of concussions. I think of Troy Aikman, Steve Young. Now that the time has changed, the game has become safer, but not for everybody. And so I don't think there are any easy answers. The people that rush to say, hey, you got to retire, or rush to say, hey, we're shutting you down for the year, or rush you back, I think they're probably all wrong. It's somewhere in the middle that only he, his family, hopefully his doctors, not maybe necessarily the team doctors, will provide that kind of structure for him to make the best decision for him. I don't pretend to know what that is, but I will tell you that it sucks to watch a guy deteriorate like that and get hit like that and have that reaction on the field again. So no easy answers. Thanks for hanging to the end of this one. This was not the same kind of normal vibes that we love to have on this channel. So I appreciate the support. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.